When the US Federal Reserve raises interest rates, the effects ripple worldwide. Loans get pricier in Manila, savings shrink in Buenos Aires, and startups in Bangalore hit pause. This is the reach of American economic power. Decisions in Washington can dictate the financial weather for billions. But it's not just about money. American culture, movies, music, tech, shapes global tastes and trends. Hollywood blockbusters, iPhones, and social media platforms create a shared global experience, but when largely curated by the US. The technology in your pocket, likely American design. The internet itself, born from a US government project. This dominance means the rules of the digital world, privacy, security, are often set in the US, affecting how we all live online. In global security, the world looks to Washington when crises erupt. US military presence can deter or escalate conflicts far from home. A statement from the White House can shift the strategies of entire nations. American foreign policy decisions have life and death consequences for people worldwide. This is American hegemony, a web of power quietly shaping our world. Its influence is everywhere, even if you never set foot on American soil. Hegemony means one country is so powerful, economically, militarily, and culturally, that it shapes the rules for everyone else. Unlike old empires, American dominance is subtle. Other countries follow its lead not by force, but because it's practical. The US doesn't rule colonies. It leads through alliances, global institutions, and economic agreements it helped create. Its power is less visible, but more resilient, woven into the fabric of international systems. American hegemony rests on three pillars: unmatched military might, the dollar as the world's reserve currency, and cultural influence. American ideas, democracy, free markets, individual liberty, spread through movies, music, and education. This blend of hard economic and soft power is more comprehensive than any previous world power. American hegemony isn't cartoon villainy. It's a global system where US politics, economy, and culture become everyone's business. Understanding this is key to understanding our modern world. Before World War II, America was powerful but not dominant. Europe's empires ruled the world. The war devastated Europe and Asia, but left the US mainland untouched and its economy booming. By 1945, America had the world's largest navy, strongest economy, and the atomic bomb. The US stepped up to rebuild the world, leading the creation of a new global order. At Bretton Woods, the US dollar became the world's reserve currency, anchoring global finance. Institutions like the IMF and World Bank were born, with America at the helm. The Marshall Plan poured billions into rebuilding Europe, generous but also strategic. Rebuilding allies created strong trading partners and a bulwark against the Soviet Union. America became not just a victor, but the architect of the post-war world. This moment cemented US leadership for decades to come. After WWII, the US and Soviet Union entered a global standoff, the Cold War. The US built alliances like NATO, encircling the Soviet Union and guaranteeing Western security. But America's most potent weapon was culture, movies, music, and brands that symbolized freedom and prosperity. Rock and roll, Hollywood, and blue jeans became icons of rebellion behind the Iron Curtain. The US promoted democracy and free markets through media, education, and cultural exchanges. This soft power eroded communist ideology, making the American way of life aspirational. When the Berlin Wall fell and the Soviet Union collapsed, it wasn't from invasion, it was exhaustion and lost faith. The American system proved more resilient and appealing. The Cold War was won not just with arms, but with ideas. America's influence became global, not by conquest, but by attraction. The world order shifted. America stood alone at the top. The long game had been won. The Soviet collapse left the US as the world's sole superpower, a unipolar moment. The 1990s saw booming tech, unrivaled military, and diplomatic dominance. Washington brokered peace, expanded NATO, and led global trade talks. For a decade, it seemed America could shape the world in its image. That changed on September 11, 2001. Terrorist attacks shattered the sense of invincibility. The war on terror revealed both the reach and limits of US power. Quick victories in Afghanistan and Iraq gave way to costly, divisive occupations. America's alliances strained, resources drained, and its moral standing suffered. The era of unchallenged dominance ended, replaced by a more complex world. America's role became more contested, at home and abroad. America's power isn't just visible, it's embedded in global systems. The US maintains hundreds of military bases worldwide, enabling rapid response anywhere. The dollar is the world's reserve currency. Most global trade happens in dollars, giving the US unique leverage. Washington can cut off adversaries from the dollar system, crippling their economies. In the digital age, US tech giants, Google, Apple, Microsoft, control much of the world's data infrastructure. Most global internet traffic flows through American-designed systems. This gives the US an edge in intelligence, cybersecurity, and AI. The American legal system reaches far. If a transaction touches the US financial system, US law can apply. International companies often play by American rules, willingly or not. These pillars, military, money, data, and law, form the foundation of US hegemony. They're powerful, often invisible, and shape the world's order. America's influence is built into the system itself. American hegemony brought decades of peace among great powers and fueled global prosperity. US security guarantees stabilized regions and enabled unprecedented economic growth. Free trade and open markets lifted hundreds of millions from poverty, especially in Asia. America is often the world's first responder in crises, earning allies and goodwill. But power has a dark side. US interventions have sometimes caused chaos and resentment. Critics see hypocrisy when America preaches democracy but supports autocrats. The world's dependence on the dollar makes everyone vulnerable to US financial crises. Cultural dominance can feel like imperialism, eroding local traditions. American power is a double-edged sword, stabilizing but also controversial and resented. In 2026, American hegemony faces real challengers for the first time in decades. China's economic and military rise, and its global initiatives, offer an alternative to the US-led order. Russia, though smaller, disrupts the system with military force and energy power. Regional powers, like India, Brazil, and Turkey, are asserting independence, making the world more multipolar. Internally, America faces polarization, inequality, and debate over its global role. Some Americans want to focus inward, questioning the costs of leadership. The consensus behind US foreign policy is fracturing. America's advantages remain immense, but the era of unchallenged dominance is over. The future will be defined by competition, not hegemony. The rules-based order America built is under strain. The big question, can this order adapt, or will a new era of global rivalry take its place?